Oh yeah, how are you folks? Welcome to the Nick DiPaolo Show on a Tuesday, a filthy, muggy, humid, stinky Tuesday. How are you? Getting a little nervous, man. It's, what is it? May, whatever? Feels like
21st.
August. Feels like August in Nigeria down here. What is happening, folks? Good to be with you. Quick reminder, as I said yesterday, Google and Facebook won't let us promote the Breath of Fresh Air, A Breath of Fresh Air, my special, which is coming up on 400,000 views. And I don't know if they have a problem with the language, which maybe they do, because I cut loose on stage. I say fuck way too much. I'll be the first one to. But then again, when you compare it to what they're showing on Facebook and Google and stuff, it really isn't anything. Again, I made the mistake of saying that I love Trump in this special, so that was probably a huge red flag. But the point is, you guys have to share the special on Facebook with your friends and Twitter and everywhere else, because you know what we're up against here. It's a grassroots movement, okay? The social media, the big tech companies, people are worried about what Russia is going to do to interfere with our elections. Worry about what Google's going to do if you lean right in your politics, or Facebook. So share it amongst yourselves. Send it to everybody. People who like my politics and don't, just to piss them off. It'll ruin their day. It's even more fun. So that's what I'm asking from you, and I really appreciate the support. As usual, Patreon members, we're coming at you live on a Dirty Tuesday.
We'll do it live. Okay. We'll do it live.
Yes,
I
we
want
will.
all of you to enjoy your cake. So, enjoy.
Enjoy your cake. What do we got going on today in the news? This was just sent to me trending. Alabama Public Television refuses to air Arthur episode with gay wedding. First I thought it was the movie. You know, and I'm like, did I miss a scene in that or whatever? Is alcoholism on the fucking PC list now? You're making fun of drunks. Yeah. Anyways, it's a animated show on Alabama Public Television. They're not going to air an episode because that is a gay wedding. It would be a violation of trust to broadcast the episode, the director of programming at Alabama Public Television said. Alabama Public Television chose not to air PBS's recent Arthur episode that featured a same-sex marriage. Boy, I can hear the fucking people on the Upper West Side of Manhattan going crazy. This is why it's trending. It has gay in it. It has LGBT. This is why anything that trends shows our hypersensitivity. Usually racial stories, gay. It just shows how hypersensitive. And I'll give you my take on it. I find it kind of refreshing, actually. I know people around the rest of the, Oregon, L.A., typical Alabama, behind the times and shit. Why? Because they don't want to indoctrinate their kids at age 3? Somebody has to push back a little bit. That's just my fucking retrograde take on it. During the animated series' 22nd season premiere, titled Mr. Ratburn and the Special Someone, Arthur's third-grade teacher, Mr. Ratburn, marries Patrick, a chocolatier. That's offensive right there. Why does he have to be a chocolatier? He could be a goddamn NFL lineman, or he works a drill press at a machine shop. I'd be offended by that if I was gay, and I'm not sure I'm not gay. I'm getting fucking very confused with all the news and whatnot. Look at these two rat faces. What the fuck? What is that? It looks like Michael Cohen being represented by his lawyer. That's what that looks like. A chocolatier at a wedding attended by his students, Arthur, Francine, Buster, and Muffy. Yum, yum. It aired May 13th. And, of course, this is fucking trending on Twitter. And, God damn it, I forgot to put my airplane mode thing on. But, let me fix this.
You can act like a man! What's the matter with you?
I'm a mouse. Mike McKenzie, director of programming at APT, told NBC News on Monday, of course NBC News is right on it, that PBS sent a message to stations in mid-April alerting them to possible viewer concerns about the content of the program. After he and others at APT viewed the episode, they decided not to broadcast it and show a rerun instead, so...
Your son looks like a fag to me.
Oh, that's not fair. Mackenzie said the network has no plans to air it. Parents have trusted Alabama Public Television, APT, for more than 50 years to provide children's programs that entertain, educate, and inspire, Mackenzie said in a statement. Parents trust that their children can watch APT without their supervision. We also know that children who are younger than target audience for Arthur also watch the program. Mackenzie also said if they aired it, APT would take away the choice of parents who felt it was inappropriate for the children. Whoa, pro-choice. Yet the left is going fucking crazy. Look at all this. Look, this is a controversy because they animated fucking cartoon on Alabama Public Television. They decided not to. So, oh my God, how dare they? Homophobic, blah, blah, blah. Let me tell you something. Your kids are going to get, these kids that don't see this cartoon or whatever, they're going to get indoctrinated when they go to school anyways for the next 20 years, okay, at how bad they are and homophobic they are. So there's plenty of that to spread around, whether it's the college campuses, whether it's Disney's stupid cartoons, where everything is represented in a world that really doesn't exist. I've never been in a room with an Eskimo, a Puerto Rican girl, an Indian with a hair lip, a black guy, and a fucking Irishman. That only exists in Budweiser commercials during the Super Bowl and shit. So the conservative people are pushing back a bit. They don't want their kids indoctrinated because if they were smart, they would homeschool these kids. Anyways, so I don't have a problem with it. How does it feel? Huh? This is so censorship of a gay wedding. Oh, my God, how dare they? It's sort of like, I don't know, Google and Facebook not wanting to advertise my breath of fresh air. So, it goes both ways. That's all I get to say. Personally, I care. Like I said, I'm in show business. And I'm wrong when I say this, too, that I have gay friends. That makes me somehow, it's like saying my best friend is black or whatever. So if you say that, you're a racist or a homophobe. If you don't say it, you don't have any black friend. What are you, fucking racist? There's no winning with a piece. Please, LGBTQ, please stop your fucking whining. You want to get the gay people I know are sick of this shit. They're tired of this pissing and moaning, this never-ending list of grievances. So somebody's pushing back a little bit. And it's not just Alabama, I'm sure. I'm sure people in, in the Midwest might feel the same way. Arthur debuted in 1996 and follows the adventures of its title character, his friends, and his family. A bunch of fucking rats. They're all rats. How did I miss that? In 2005, APT pulled an episode of Arthur in which the character Buster visited a girl who had two mothers. Now, I would have liked to have seen that one. Bill Hicks has the best bit on that. Heather has two mommies? I don't have a problem with that. However, two gay guys, gross. But, hey, folks, different strokes for different folks, okay? Like I said, their kids are going to be inundated with this shit in a few years, whether their parents like it or not, unless they homeschool them. So don't throw them into the homophobic blah. They're going to get plenty of it, So our feeling is that we basically have a trust with parents about our programming. Then Executive Director Alan Pizzato said at the time, this program doesn't fit into that. My God, how homophobic are you? How dare you? The vast majority of parents will not have heard about the content, whether they agree with it or not. Because of this, we felt it would be a violation of trust to broadcast the episode. Whatever. I'm sure people on the left are fucking furious. How's it feel? A little bit of censorship to go against your politics. Little taste. It's PBS, Alabama. Sip of coffee. I'm sweating through this shirt like a... Oh, by the way, the flu has moved from chest and head into the stomach canal. Exploding diarrhea at 3 in the morning. It was like I had a jetpack on. Finally, I look a little... It's the only time I look fucking cut after having AIDS for 3 weeks. That's Jason. He's the only one here today, folks. Jason's... He's busy working the board. The kid can play. Anyways, good for you, Alabama, public TV or whatever. Hold on. Let me get rid of this. Yeah, a gig that I will never do again is hitting me up. No thanks, fellas. I don't need the $11 that bad. Airplane mode. That won't happen again. Oh, I'm breaking the pace of the show. That's what I heard from our meeting today. Yeah, I'm doing a fucking hour by myself. Okay? I don't have 19 sidekicks to play off of and So when I go to a sidekick to ask for something, I got to take a fucking breather here. This show started off initially, folks, this is for everybody, as a radio show that happens to be broadcast on the internet, which is very popular. Mike Francesa in New York does it, and Colin Coward or whatever for ESPN. Their ratings are through. People like to watch people talking to a mic. Who am I to argue? Okay, let's get right to the meat of the show today. I gave you the title. Did you get it, Jason? Fucking Daniels, Dumber and Dumber. Jeff Daniels, this fucking made me, I don't know what to say. It's just, this is so perfect. This is such a microcosm of what's going on. Jeff Daniels, Hollywood actor, just moralizing on MSNBC because he's playing Atticus Finch in on Broadway or wherever the fuck, To Kill a Mockingbird. Let's tell that story one more time. I think I read it 8 times in 3rd grade. It's a great book, by the way. But listen to him moralizing and trying to draw a parallel to what's going on with Trump. And just, I want you to sit there and listen to you people who voted for Trump at what he thinks of you. And it's just, I'll have Jason play it and I'll tell him to pause and I'll comment on from my gut as usual. Go ahead.
When Atticus is at the jail
and
protecting, the KKK comes. They come for him. Mm-hmm. And it's Scout that recognizes one of her hooded neighbors. Mm-hmm. It says, Mr. Cunningham.
Mr.
And
Cunningham.
I started sobbing. I mean, our children are
Richie's
watching
father.
This moment. Atticus's children are played by extraordinary actors in the play. And it is this reminder that in this moment in our politics, our children are watching.
Pause. They are. Your children are watching. Fucking Meet the Press. And that's right. Get to them early, Miss Wallace on the left. Indoctrinate those little pricks. Are they really? Are your fucking kids in 3rd and 4th grade glued to the fucking NBC Nightly News and Rachel Maddow? They probably are, because I've seen you bring them to fucking rallies and indoctrinate them. People on the right, not so much. They believe in Little League and shit like that. You know, they're not little nerdy fucks and creating hatred amongst their kids. Go ahead.
Children are watching, and I live in Michigan. And
why don't you stay there, asshole?
After the election, I was surprised at some of the people. You know, I said, "Can you believe this election?" And they go, "Yeah, isn't it great?" And you're going, "Whoa!"
Pause.
My wife's on
Pause.
Facebook.
Pause. Oh, you were surprised at that? People went, "Isn't this great?" And you went, "Whoa, whoa." You know why? Because you've been making a living in Hollywood for the last fucking 30 years. Whoa, whoa. Did you say great? You actually like that Trump got elected? Yeah, motherfucker, I live in Michigan. He's going to bring jobs back, and he did. Listen to the moralizing. Go ahead.
And these go, "Oh, we got another Trumper," you know, and it's just, you didn't see it coming. Atticus goes through this. I know these people. They're good people. And there are reasons why. And he's an apologist. He's an enabler. And I think there are people in the Midwest between the coasts who don't know anything about, who don't care about this, who don't have time for this, who have to make a decision now. You have to decide whether, like Atticus, you believe that there is still compassion, decency, civility, respect for others, do unto others. Remember that? Do unto others. All that stuff you guys believe in. You still voted not for Hillary or for Trump.
Pause. All that stuff you guys believe in, do unto others. He's taking a shot at Christians, by the way. And you didn't vote for Hillary. Yeah, a fucking career criminal who should be in jail. You know what? Their Christian instincts, and I'm not a religious guy, were right on the money, stupid, dumb and dumber. Ooh, you didn't vote for fucking Hillary? Because she's been a moral authority throughout. Power-hungry, fucking money-grubbing, corporate shill, former lib sellout. And they went for the guy who grew up in Queens. Ooh, his dad gave him a loan to get a business started. Yeah, but he worked in the real fucking world. That's who they voted for. Let me ask you a question, Mr. Daniels. The people of Michigan and you know, that you disdain so much in the middle of the country, is Hillary more like them, or do you say Trump is more like them? Who could they relate to more? A plain-spoken guy? Hey, am I hearing fighter pilots? Over? Yeah, baby. We're protected here. Anyways, go ahead.
Where are you now? Because your kids are looking up at you going, "But he lies." And I think there are a lot of people.
But he lies. You know, you can keep your health coverage and keep your doctor. That whopper fucking, as opposed to Trump going, "I had the biggest inauguration crowd ever." You mean like that? But he lies. So Trump's the first president to lie? You fucking moron. Go ahead.
People in the Midwest who are going, it might be enough for them. We're going to find out if the big gamble is to go all the way to November 2020, which I agree, and lose. It's the end of democracy.
One of the people who came to see To Kill a Mockingbird.
Pause. It's what if Trump wins in 2020? It's the end of democracy, as opposed to the Obama administration, who fucking did everything, including a silent coup, after Trump won. A duly elected president was still in that investigation. Do you understand how absurd this is? This guy's ensconced in his little lib bubble. Really, it's the end of democracy? When you do what Mueller did and what Comey did and those guys to Trump, that's the end of democracy. That's the shit of third world banana republics. So how clueless are you? Go ahead.
In January is former FBI Director Jim Comey.
Oh, let's go to him.
The tip of the spear in this fight.
Another
between the
moral
president and his own
authority.
Justice Department FBI. I texted him today. I know
Oh,
that
did
he
you?
came to
You're
see the
blowing
fight
him?
and asked him what it means in this moment, and he wrote this. Do
Oh,
we have that?
let's get
For
this
that?
moral
I'll read
authority.
off my-
There you
I'll read
go.
off my phone here. First, he said the whole family went in early January. We were so excited to see it that Patrice, that's his wife, fell on the sidewalk, broke her clavicle, and refused to go to the hospital. She held her arm in place during the show.
Slip and fall,
It's the
trying to get
perfect
money.
play for our time. It reminds us that people can be deeply biased and flawed, but the truth is a real thing. And our heroes in the long run are always those who stood up for it.
Pause.
The thousand little cowards.
He thinks he's Atticus Finch, Jim Comey. The dirtiest cop ever to work at the FBI. The guy behind the fucking coup. Oh, my God. MSNBC, you are priceless. You are fucking priceless. Let's hold up James Comey as the moral authority of what's going on in the country. He's like Atticus Finch. He goes for the underdog. And go ahead.
Melt away. There will be no plays about the virtue of this Republican Party and its passion for truth. I mean, he's seeing the same parallel. I think anyone who's been in the arena, in the political arena at another moment, can't escape the parallels between all the cowardice of the mob, which is very much a theme.
The mob. They're talking about people, deplorables who voted for the mob, as opposed to who's been getting knocked out wearing Trump hats, who's tearing down statues, who's terrorizing people at college campuses. Who prevents like Ann Coulter or Milos from speaking at or any conservative in a college camp? That's not the mob. Do you fucking people ever leave your house for 5 minutes? Give me a break. Go ahead.
Yeah, and Sorkin writes to that. I think it's Sorkin who put it in, where Atticus talks about, a mob acts on emotion, absent facts, absent...
Pause. Do you know how insulting this is? I wish it came out of a politician, might as well. They're comparing like the mob and, all the white racists and To Kill a Mockingbird. That's the Republican Party today. Dumb and dumber, fucking retarded. Go ahead, stupid. Keep talking.
Respect for absent contemplation and mostly absent responsibility. What they get is anonymity. A conscience can be exhausting. It'll keep you up at night.
Pause. Anonymity. Mobs, that's where you can get anonymity. You can rest your conscience by joining a mob. Who's wearing the mask when there's a fucking riot and a rally? When the left and right, the bad guys start pounding? Who's wearing the fucking mask and the bandanas across their face? Who's doing all the hate on Twitter under fucking, fake accounts and is it the right? Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, but Nick, MAGA hats are the new white hood.
MAGA hats are the new white hood, exactly. But they're talking about the mob. The mob is on the left. The mob is people who censor people on Twitter. That's the fucking mob. The mob is, like I said, when there's a rally and 9 people beat up a guy in a Trump hat, or a fucking World War II 80-year-old guy gets beat up by 3 young black men. That's not a mob, though. They literally wear those masks, those French Revolutionary masks. Go ahead.
A mob's a place where people go to take a break from their conscience.
Yeah.
And you lay that
That's where you are right now,
night,
dummy.
And you can hear them go, oh.
No, you know what they go?
No.
Yeah.
And I was sitting there.
Yeah.
Is that
and
what's happening?
That's what I see when I look at Trump's rallies. That's when I see the lies
a white mob
spewing at these people, and people going, I got to believe in something. And he said he'd bring my manufacturing job
and he did,
back,
fuckface.
She didn't, and I'm all in.
Exactly.
But at the end of the day, aside from I don't want to pay taxes, it's race. It's race. This is about the Republican Party, or a wing of it, going, this is our last chance to save the party. And if we don't, it's the end of the Republican Party. And the only way they can do that was to tap the race button and say, go ahead, it's okay. And he did, and they did. And that was the only card they had left to play, and they played it. And they aren't going to go quietly.
Pause. Did you get that, folks? It's the Republicans playing the race card. Did you get that? It's the Republicans playing the race card, not the Democrat. Who traffics in identity politics, which is race and gender? Just ask yourself that question. But he's saying, because we finally got a president who was sick of white people being lectured to and fucking stood up. So that makes him a racist, because we're still a majority in this country, and you can't be racist if you're part of the oppressed. That whole fucking, line of thinking. That is just hilarious on its face. The Republicans are playing the race card. No, Obama didn't at all, did he? Fucking Holder, Eric Holder, or the Rachel Rollins now in Boston, who is going to make shoplifting illegal and hands up, Black Lives. That wasn't race, And Obama calling the cops stupid in Harvard, but we finally got a white president who had the balls to go, hey, I'm not ashamed to be white, and white people, you shouldn't either. Somehow, we are the mob. But he's playing at us, so he loves doing roles like this, because he said it represents people as famous as, they put this book up there, this fictional character with George Washington. He said that earlier. Well, let's show some of his earlier work where he loves these characters. Here's the ref. Here's your politics. There you go. It's the best acting he's ever done. How'd you feel? How'd you embrace that role? What did you do how'd you prepare for that one? Eat at Chipotle or whatever the fuck back then? DQ chili for the 6 months. Oh, brilliant. Oh, my God, that made me furious. But remember that, Republicans and people in the Midwest and me and people like us, we are the mob. It's all about race. And we finally found a president who said, we're the fucking mob. Oh, my aching stem. Anyways, that's all I got to say about it. That's what happens. You go to Hollywood. I know he lives in Michigan now after he made his zillions. But if you stay there, you will become retarded. It'll eventually, especially if you're in show business, because obviously you're not going to get an audition if you lean the other way in your politics and make it be known. Let's continue with the stupidity. 4 in 10 Americans embraces some form of socialism. Of course they do. Americans today are more closely divided than they were earlier in the last century when asked whether some form of socialism would be a good or bad thing for the country. While 51% of U.S. adults say socialism would be a bad thing for the country, 43% believe it would be a good thing. Those results contrast with a 1942 Fortune survey that found 40% describing socialism as a bad thing, 25% as a good thing, and 34% not having an opinion because they weren't being preached to by mainstream television back then.
Uh-oh, retard alert! Retard alert!
Previous Gallup research shows that Americans' definition of socialism has changed over the years. We can't even get this is how stupid we are, with nearly 1 in 4 now associating the concept with social equality and 17% associating with the more classic definition, which is what it still is, having some degree of government control of the means of production. Now people think it's about social justice. Not even smart enough to get the definition of socialism. That's what 50 years of mainstream fucking lib horseshit being shoved down your throat. People are so confused. That's great. 4 in 10. That's beautiful. That's why when I hear people going, Trump's going to fucking win this next election. No way. As long as the mainstream media acts as a propaganda arm for the other party, they're always going to be in the fight. And you got more poor idiots pouring in over the border. You think it's an accident that Democrats don't want to change the immigration laws? They get third world people pouring over who will vote for them. They're coming from socialist shitholes, ironically, some of them. Or third world, banana fucking republics. And they're coming here. Isn't that ironic? Only to find out in 20 years that they're going to be faced with the same shit that they just came from. If these assholes are elected.
Mark from Albany comes to mind.
Mark from Albany. Yeah, exactly. Mark from Albany was from Poland, grew up under like communist rule over there, and now he sees what's happening. He used to call him furious. Yeah, so a majority of Democrats have said they view socialism positively in a Gallup polling since 2010, including 57% in the most recent measure in 2018. So ridiculous. Gallup first asked Americans in 1949 about their outlook on the spread of democracy over the next 50 years. At that time, 7 in 10 Americans, that's 72%, predicted that most countries in the world would have a democratic government. And then MSNBC and CNN came along and just changed everything. Whatever. The current update on this question finds a market increase in the percentage, saying that most countries during the next 50 years will have a socialist government, 29%. In the same April survey, Gallup asked Americans whether they would prefer mostly free market, here's some good news, or government control over several economic and societal activities. Americans are most likely to prefer free market control in the areas of technology, innovation, and the distribution of wealth. Majorities also want the free market to drive the economy overall, wages, higher education, and health care. Well, that goes against Kamala Harris and the Democrats because they're pushing for giant government overreach as far as health care and all that shit. What a confused country we are right now. Huh? But most people, as far as health insurance goes, they want the market to drive it. Maybe that's why Trump's doing so well as far as the economy goes. Usually it's vote with your wallet. That usually the economy, vote with your wallet. It's the economy, stupid and stuff. But that's been eroding. That might have been true of I don't know how many elections. But because the Democrat Party leans so far left and all their allies in the media help them with their giant megaphone, that's eroding. Eventually people are just going to want free shit. Did you see the black billionaire? I think it was Morehouse College. He said he was going to he was speaking at the graduate. He's going to pay for all their student loans. Yeah, that's how to set them up for real life. Free fucking handouts for everybody. Hey. Anyways, but that's what they want. Some people want it. I don't know why.
Ein Vorführen durch eigene Arbeit, durch eigenen Fleiß, eigene Entschlossenheit.
I want to know what example you're looking at, and don't tell me the little Western European Democrat countries with 11 people in them, where everybody's on the dole and your tax rate is 112%, and they live a beautiful life and shit. Point to a real-sized country. We have 335 million people in this country. We're going to be able to pay for everybody's schooling, their health care. It's a fucking pipe dream. It's a pipe dream. Why don't you take a look at Venezuela right now? If you force socialism, it does one thing. It improves how you eat and live healthy lives. Here's a guy in Venezuela having breakfast. Anybody seen the hot sauce?
Anyway.
Delicious.
Thank you.
That's a rat with a nice marinara on its nuts. Delicious. Venezuela, right? They're fucking eating zoo animals. They're using Heinz ketchup bottles for lamps, but that's the shining light on the hill. Those lights are ketchup bottles. Well, they're actually like Molotov cocktails you can throw at the military. Speaking of socialism, so wake up, young millennials, and even the millennials are waking up to it. I guess there's a degree of them that, we don't want that. There's a reason people are trying to sneak in here from those countries. Jesus Christ, it's right in front of your face. Do you understand that? This is the greatest form of government ever. Anyhow, Bernie Sanders, I love Bernie. He's a crazy old hippie, but I will do better. He must be looking up at Biden and go, this old crusty fuck, I can't believe it. The kids were with me last year, and here we go. Bernie Sanders, he's back in the news. Bernie Sanders holds up a fried chicken leg for pick with a black man in South Carolina. This is what makes me a prophet as far as comedy goes. Here's a clip from A Breath of Fresh Air and, me touching on Bernie and the black vote.
The other reason Bernie lost, other than it was rigged, He couldn't get the black vote. He could not get the black vote. I kept emailing him, change your first name to Colonel. What the fuck? Right in front of you. Wake up.
I'm a prophet. So what do we got in the news today? Sanders holds up fried chicken leg for a pic with a black man. Bernie Sanders visited a Taste of Black Columbia in South Carolina on Friday and posed with a black worker while holding a fried chicken leg. Another photo shows him biting into it to prove that he's black. I don't know. Again, let me give you my take on this. Why is this a big deal? And it really isn't. I'm actually going to side with Bernie and everybody because we've as racially divided as we are in the country. We've actually got over this one. We've all agreed. Who doesn't like Kentucky Fried? Black people, mostly from the South originally. Fried chicken's big. It's no big fucking deal. It's not appropriation. It's just fucking delicious. Old Jews love it. Young black people love it. Asian people love it. This is like, you know, big goddamn deal. If he was in Iowa, he'd be eating corn on the cob or whatever the fuck, flipping pancakes made out of cornmeal and falling off the stage and breaking his old hips. But what is the big deal? We really have to grow the fuck up. You know what I mean? I'm actually with him on this. What is the big? But of course the virtue signaling on Twitter and all social media. Some on Twitter saw through Sanders. Shaking my head, one person wrote, posting the acronym. Really? Shaking your head at what? A guy in South Carolina at a food festival eating the most popular food in that area? Why is that a bad thing? He's actually sharing something that we fucking love. But, you know, the social justice warriors and what's his name? Daniels. What the fuck's his first name? I forgot already.
Jeff.
Stupid Jeff Daniels be like, you know, he'll let this slide because it's a Democrat. And shaking my head, one person wrote, you should be nodding your head, fool. Bernie Sanders needs new black advisors, he wrote. Well, I already tried that. I was emailing him during the Hillary election. I told him what to do. It's one of the best jokes ever. I don't care. I've never had. I did it in New York City for a year. Black people were crying in front of me at the tables. Fucking nobody got offended. Again, you know, a couple of white girls in their early 20s. But Sanders isn't the first Democrat to get a pass on pandering to black. It's not pandering. It's what you do when you're a politician. Now, if he was tap dancing and shit and juggling a basketball, now you're getting a little fucking ugly. But Jesus, it's what you do. You know what I'm saying? In 2016, Bill Clinton visited Louisville, Kentucky, and visited a soul food restaurant where he served fried chicken to patrons. You know why? Because if he went to Chick-fil-A, he would have been fucking labeled if it was even around then, fucking racist and a religious nut. You know? They said they were upset because he wasn't wearing a hairnet, and somebody found the gray hair. It was probably a pube, I'm guessing. He probably tried to grab that woman in the apron behind. Let me tell you something, honey. It's the best fried chicken I've ever had. Come on back here. I want to talk to you. That is the Colonel's. I'll show you the Colonel's secret recipe right here in my ball bag. The black lady's actually laughing at him. Look at this dumb cracker. But it really is silly. We have to grow up with it as far as this shit goes. Yeah, I went to a soul food restaurant too with Al Sharpton. I've had collard greens down here probably 6 times already since I've been down there. That makes me black too, I guess, and a good person, right? Because I like their food. Is that how it works in this country? You fucking. Then you remember, look at this. Then you remember Hillary Clinton at the black radio station proving her blackness, trying to get certified when she said this.
What's something that you always carry with you?
Hot sauce.
Mace in these neighborhoods, motherfucker. Hot sauce. Can we expound on it? No? Or is that the end of the clip? That's the end of the clip? Hot sauce. Look at the black lady. She fucking... That's pandering. That you should get upset at. I carry hot sauce. Well, white people call it mace and pepper spray. But when I come to these radio stations, you ain't know who's going to be in there. She carries hot sauce in her black. Oh, my God, my aching stem. You probably do. She throws it on Bill's cock when he gets home to kill any... I put hot sauce in everything, by the way. But look, You know, I have Italian blood in me, which means I have black blood in me, so that's well explained. But I'm addicted to that shit. I'm like Hillary. I carry it in my purse everywhere. I put on my ice cream and whatnot. Lordy. Hillary is just a thick ankle dog face. Oh, let's lighten up the news a little bit, shall we? Vibrator prize for Spanish squash champion spurs a sexism debate. What doesn't spur a sexism debate anymore, folks? Huh? What's Every day I read the paper, there's a story in the military about sexual assault on women in the military and rape and girls getting pregnant, you know. And you know why that is, folks? Do you ever think these people who do the social engineering might go, hey, maybe that's why they were segregated, men and women. I'm going off point here as far as this story goes. But maybe that's why they did it for years, where men and women were separated in the military. And then we do the social engineering because there's no difference between men and women other than the socially constructed ones. And all the shit goes down. Do they ever reassess after like 10 years? Hey, maybe this isn't fucking working. This has nothing to do with what I'm talking about. I'm just saying. I don't see the big deal here either. I know this would be considered sexist. No, Vibrator prize for Spanish squash champion spurs a sexism. A squash championship in northern Spain has sparked a debate about sexism in sport after female participants were awarded a vibrator, wax, and a kit to remove foot callus. Okay, I guess it's sexist and whatnot, but why? Is there any... First of all, if you gave vibrators to the women that participate in American in sports, you're better off giving them a cup, a lot of them. I'm just saying. No, this is... Okay, it's sexist on some point, but why? It's shameful? We know women use vibrators. Gay, straight women, some guys. Jason. And... acknowledging that as sexist, I don't understand. It's supposed to be, you shouldn't be ashamed of that, right?
Yeah,
Jason?
I think they'd even get backlash for not acknowledging their sexuality as
something
women.
Exactly, something like that. The top women players of the Asturias Championship rode to the local squash federation to complain about the incident. Apparently, they wanted it prompted resignations at the club that organized the event. Oh, my aching stem. All in the name of pussy. People have to get fired. Contest winner Elizabeth Sato told the BBC that things have to change. Who's the winner? Which one?
I'm guessing the one holding the trophy.
Oh, I see. Yeah, she looks like a toughie. Kind of a Spanish Joan Jett. And who's that? Chris Farley's cousin? I don't know who the fuck. Contest, she said things have to change. Miss Sato awarded a trophy and a vibrator for getting the top spot, no pun intended, in the competition. The women in second, third, fourth places won an electronic foot file or hair removal wax. That I'd be a little pissed at. A fucking foot file. Although you're a female athlete, a lot of athletes get bunions and whatnot, so, you know, a foot file. But I'm just saying, we're acknowledging... Let me ask you a question, lady who's offended by the vibrator. Would you not use it? Honestly, I'm just fucking... So why is it so... We were very surprised, very shocked. We think it's very sexist, Ms. Sato said. We wanted to explain it to everybody because we think there's a lot of discrimination against women in sport and things have to change. I'd like to know what you're basing that on. Is that the same whining we hear over here in this country from female athletes who go, how come men's soccer players make so much more than us? Because the stadium is 14 times more packed. The TV audiences are 15 times bigger, which in a free market that we still have, thank God, that I'm trying to get rid of, we want everybody paid equally, whether she's a power forward or that's why. It's got nothing to do with discrimination. It's a free market, and you can jack your advertising rates when 100 million people are watching a game, as opposed to the WNBA when you're watching broads play a foot under the rim and shooting from their chest. That's all. Nothing personal. But she comes around in the end of this article here, okay? First of all, officials at Squash Oviedo, the club that organized the event, has stepped down over the incident, according to the Federation. He'll be taken out and shot at sunrise because he pissed off a few lesbians in fucking Spain. I think probably they just wanted to be funny or different, Miss Sato said of their choice of prizes. If that's what you feel, why are you being so serious about it? Maybe they were just trying to be funny. Are you going to try to get this guy his job back, whoever did it? Look, I don't know the temperature of the genders over there. Over here in this country, yeah, people would go wild if you gave a girl a vibrator for, winning an event. But I think it's a sign of evolution. We're like, we know what you girls do. Here's a shower head and a water pick for second and third. Here's a fire hose with a big fat one on the back. Oh, my God, Nick, you're a horrible person. Miss Sato said she was pleased that the incident had got people across Spain talking about sexism in the sport. Yeah, because we don't talk about that enough. I think the important thing is that there is a public debate and laws in Spain and more protection so women can practice sport. Please.
Thank you.
Ms. Sato, are there really any laws in the book saying women can't practice sport? This is where you start to lose straight fellas like myself. Big fan of the girls, but I'm just saying, always taking it a tad too far. Would a dildo have been out of line? How about a summer squash? They were just tongue-in-cheek acknowledging. And the guy should have got one of those, what do they call it, fleshlights? That should have been, what I used to use, a nice ripe, cantaloupe. That was my picture. I told you my profile picture when I was on MySpace and I couldn't get any friends. It was me in a hot tub by myself with a cantaloupe in one hand, a melon ball scoop in the other, and a couple of candles around, and a half a heart on it. Nobody would friend me. Sexist. Anyways, ladies, lighten the fuck. I think they were joking around. And Miss Sato, you should try to help that guy get his job back. But I know over here, they would have got the same reaction. They would have been picketing and all kinds of stuff, But tough. Your feelings get hurt a little bit. Squash in Spain. Ooh, that must be bringing in the revenue, huh? Concession sales must be fucking you. Donald Trump questions a very strange Fox News Pete Buttigieg event. President Trump questioned Monday a decision by Fox News executives to host a town hall for Mayor Pete Buttigieg. This guy, ugh. I'd vote for Kamala Harris before this guy, only because she's not as filled with such self-hate as this little white man from a little fucking Indiana town, South Bend. But he's gay. Check off that. He's a vet. Check off that. This is how we do politics in this country. He's a nitwit. He wants to erase anything that Thomas Jefferson had his name on. Fuck you, Mayor Pete. Go back in the tree and make cookies, you Mr. Bean-looking motherfucker. I got the coal. Let's show a clip of Trump. He was in Pennsylvania giving a speech, and he brought this up.
Last night I watched Alfred E. Newman.
Buttigieg doesn't even know who that is. That's what they said. He had to Google it.
What's going on with Fox, by the way? What's going on there? They're putting more Democrats on than you have Republicans. Strange is going on at Fox, folks. Something very strange. Did you see this guy last night? I did want to watch. You always have to watch the competition, if you call it that. And he was knocking the hell out of Fox, and Fox has put him in. Somebody's going to have to explain the whole Fox deal to me. Democrats even want to give
your
welfare.
voice. I am your voice.
Shepard Smith will explain it to you. I bet you he's throwing a hissy fit in every meeting at Fox News. But it is weird yet, Bernie. It's not weird. It's what Fox does. They put on the other side, as opposed to CNN, NBC, ABC, CBS. Remember they didn't want Fox at the primary debates? Who's doing that? I can't even remember. CNN, maybe? I don't know. But that's what they do, Mr. Trump and Fox. They put on the other side, especially when they sounded stupid. This guy got a standing ovation at the end of his little town hall on Fox News. And Trump's like, what the fuck up, yo? Somebody get the fucking, is it Murdoch's kids? I don't even know. Yeah, Murdoch's kids. The two younger kids took it over. So this is not a surprise. All I say is leave Shannon Breen alone. You kick her off that fucking channel, I'm coming down there. And Martha McCallum.
Cat Timpf.
Cat Timpf. Jason loves Cat Timpf. She's a funny broad. I've hung out with her. Yeah, but isn't that what you're supposed to do, Mr. Trump? You're supposed to show both sides. Trump knows, though. Like Trump said, when he's done, let's say if he gets another 4 year, when he's done, CNN is going to fold like a fucking cheap camera. And a lot of those other networks, he's been carrying them numbers-wise. Want to see Rachel Maddow's numbers come back to earth in a hurry? So Trump was a little, but yeah, Chris Wallace, another one. That's his daughter, by the way, that was interviewing Daniels. I assume. I've been assuming that for years. I think so. But he's a dummy because Pete Buttigieg started attacking Tucker Carlson and Laura Ingraham. And Chris Wallace didn't come to their defense and stuff. But I think the ratings prove who does the best job of trying to bring in both sides. Because if you follow a network and they're wrong time after time, let's say, take for example CNN, who was wrong about the election, who was wrong about the Mueller report, the little things. And you're going to keep coming back to them? Anderson Cooper and Cuomo. So I think Fox tries to be even. So, Mr. Trump, don't get your fucking panties in a bunch. Okay? It only makes you look better. Something's going on over there. I've seen 2 Democrats in the last week. I'm going to go over there, and I'm going to tan Sheppy Smith's bottom. I'm going to tan it. Oh, to Shepard Smith. He must have got beat up by a Trump lookalike in high school. Does he fucking hate Trump? Hey, did you see people were fainting last night while Trump was doing his rally in Pennsylvania? It was only like 80 degrees. I don't know if these people had low blood sugar. They got there early. At least 5 people fainted during the 7 p.m. stop in Montoursville, forcing Trump to stray from his remarks to continue call for medical help. This is like when the fucking Beatles did Ed Sullivan. There were broads falling out of the fucking balcony. Ah! Look at Ringo's haircut. Ah! George Harrison. Only these people were in the late hundreds that were dropping. That probably had something to do with it. They're all on blood thinners. It's 80 degrees. They've been on their feet for 11 hours. Trump's like, He was like, when I heard this, what do we want to show first? I forgot what I tell you, but go ahead. Trump speaking? Yeah, here he is calling for doctors.
We need a doctor, please. A doctor.
It's like an episode of MASH.
Please. Do we have a doctor?
Where's Ben Carson? Where's that son of a bitch? Doctor. And we saw one of the ladies, right? A fucking lady.
I've fallen, and I can't get up.
She fell in the portal toilet there. That fucking lady never got up. Even in the commercial, they let her die right there. They go, Jesus Christ. Her bones are like friggin' graham crackers. I've fallen out the toilet and my ass bone came through my neck. Doctor, please. Trump is so funny. He's got to be in control. Take your time. Like the doctor's going to rush. Doctor's doing compressions on a 90-year-old lady's chest, and Trump's like, hurry the fuck up about it. I got to get to the economy. Take your time. The doctor's like, yeah, I'm going to take my time. 5 people fainted. Now, 3 of them fainted because of some of the stuff that Trump said, apparently, about black people. I don't believe it. That's what it said on CNN. I'm just kidding. Anyhow, yeah, a 3rd supporter went down 20 minutes after that. Is that about the Trump speech or Sheppy Smith last night at the toolbox in the Village? Trump paused again and blamed the faintings on bright lights that were shining in the crowd during his speech. Are those lights bright enough? I think that's why people are going down, he says. Those crazy lights. He sounds like me on stage at every gig I do. I'll give you a line, Mr. Trump. When the lights are up, I go, what am I, a fucking pot plant? Turn that shit down. I'm not doing the vagina monologues. I always open with that. I use that as a balloon when I do gigs. I throw that out at the top. It's like it's a good weather balloon to see if people get my sarcasm or not. I'll give that to you, Mr. Trumpy. But I love that he's getting his panties in a bunch because of Fox putting on other people's opinions. Hey, folks, real quickly, I want to remind you, if you want to see me live, Friday, May 31st, which is not far away, Jonathan's in Agunquit, Maine, which is a great gig. Saturday, June 1, that's the next night. Whites of Westport and Westport, Mass. Thursday, June 6th, the Fat Black Pussycat in New York City. Friday, June 7th, Steel Stacks, Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. Saturday, August 10th, the Newtown Theater, Newtown, Pennsylvania. Friday and Saturday, August 16th and 17th, Helium in Philly. Thursday, October 10th, Levity Live, Nyack, New York. Friday, October 18th. We're trying to move this one, actually. The Ridgefield Playhouse, Ridgefield, Connecticut. Excuse me. I forget the reasoning, but there's a good reason for it. Friday, November 15th, Cortland Repertory Theater, Cortland, New York. Saturday, November 16th, the Comedy Works, Saratoga Springs, New York. New Year's Eve back at the Tarrytown Music Hall, Tarrytown, New York. Go to nickdip.com for ticket information. And again, I want to stress it again. Spread the word about Breath of Fresh Air on your Facebook, your Twitter, whatever means you have, because they're busting our balls.
And don't forget Cameo.
And don't forget Cameo.com, ladies and gentlemen. I will make a personal video for you talking into my phone. You tell me what you want, who you want me to eviscerate or to say happy birthday to or congratulations on your 25th anniversary. Anything. It can be nice. It can be angry. People like their friends roasted a bit. But Cameo.com, I wake up every morning. There's a couple on there waiting for me. People love this shit. And I enjoy doing it. Let's be honest. I have a flair for an acid tongue. Whether it's a neighbor or an old boyfriend or girlfriend you hate, whatever, I'll take care of it. Hired gun. Cameo.com, click on my profile, fill out the information. Speaking of jerk-offs, how can Robert De Niro, who, I used to love... This is, again, what happens when you stay in New York City your whole life and don't get out of that fucking bubble, and you're in show business on top of that. De Niro booed. They were scant boos. We're going to play a clip in a segment. He booed during Fuck Trump rant. Impeachment, imprisonment, how you make America great again, he says. He's losing his fucking mind. He really is. Where was he doing this? At Beverly Hills, Wilshire, Four Seasons, the hotel. It was the Icon Awards, something Icon Awards. It doesn't really matter. The actor's comments were met with a mix of applause, laughter, and boos. Let's show De Niro once again. And let me give you a little background on this. I've heard through the grapevine, people in New York and people who work in TV and shit. This goes way back. It's a beef about pussy. There was a woman, I don't know if it's true or not, but, a woman Trump and were battling. Look, back then, Trump was the king of New York real estate. De Niro is De Niro in New York, right? And something to do with a woman. And all I know is Trump became president and fucking De Niro's turning out Fockers 5 next year. So there might be a chip under his little lib shoulder, but here he is at the Icon Awards.
The individual who currently purports to lead America is not worthy of any tribute.
It's George Washington. Looks like George fucking Washington. He's getting booed in L.A.
Unless you think of his impeachment and imprisonment as a sort of tribute. Now that's how you can make America great again.
By you stop making movies. What happened, Bobby D? Used to be so cool. What happened? I met you. I got to do a little quick scene with you in a shitty movie. And pleasant guy and stuff. But again, folks, New York bred. He's ensconced in that shit. But I'm telling you, it's a beef about a woman. When you carry this on for so long, that's the only thing I can think of. And you're not going to believe who that woman was, by the way. Remember Ethel Mertz on the Lucille, I Love Lucy show? It's not her. It's Mrs. Howell, the broad that played Mrs. Howell in Gilligan's Island. But anyways, Bobby boy, you got to lighten up. Last month he took a stage at Samantha Bee's Not the White House Correspondents' Dinner and called the president an unrepentant lying scumbag. I'm happy to stand with Samantha Bee tonight to support the First Amendment, the right of the president to be a relentless and unrepentant lying scumbag, the right of his supporters to not give a shit. So he has to go after the reporters, too. I mean, the supporters, too, not the reporters. We go after the reporters. So he's going after you people that like the show. And our right to do something about it. I like at the end of the article, instead of saying, the Raging Bull star or the fucking Goodfella star, it says the Meet the Focker star. That says it all. That's him looking at the reviews of his last movie. Please save your dignity, Mr. De Niro. Please. You know there's a soft spot in every Italian guy's heart for you, but get out now. You've already unraveled all the good you've done. Fucking Mean Streets and The Godfather and Goodfellas. It's all unraveled. And Trump's making you look silly right now. But the beauty of this country is that you can call the president unrepentant scumbag and fuck. That is the beauty of this country. But if we did that to Obama, remember the guy put on a rodeo clown mask of Obama? He was a rodeo clown. Remember he get fucking fired and shit? Little double standard. Anyways, we'll get to Obama eventually when fucking William Barr starts digging down deep. And again, I'll tell you right now, this country doesn't have the balls to put the first African-American president ever. That guy will never. Like I said, he could have shot a live baby in the Oval Office on camera. And they would have blamed it on another black guy, near the White House or something. Tracy Morgan, somebody like that. What? Finally tonight, speaking of black, 75 American colleges offer black-only graduation ceremonies. Let me repeat that for you. 75 American colleges offer black-only graduation ceremony. Yay, so the left is now the new fucking...
And I say segregation now, segregation tomorrow, and segregation forever.
That's any college dean in the country. A study by the National Association of Scholars revealed that at least 75 American colleges have black-only graduation ceremonies, and 43% of surveyed colleges offer segregated residential halls. Why don't you just admit it? George Wallace was right. Why don't you just admit it? You black people and white liberals who are for this horseshit today, why do you admit those racists down south back in the 40s and 50s had a point? Because you're agreeing with them now, which is so fucking wrong. But if it was wrong then, it's wrong. It's even more wrong now because you people evolve on issues. But you're in reverse going 100 miles an hour fucking backwards on this one. The organization refers to this as neo-segregation, not Negro segregation, neo-segregation. What we found in the study was that neo-segregation is widespread, if not pervasive. About 46% segregate student orientation programs, 43% offer segregated residential arrangements, and 72% segregate graduation ceremonies. Though these arrangements are ostensibly voluntary, yeah, right, students can't easily opt out. We tracked numerous indicators of neo-segregation from, listen to this, diversity fly-ins, where colleges offer minority students an expense-paid segregated preview of the experience that awaits them should they enroll. I wonder if they're including athletes in that. Like, that would be 90% of that right there. Christ's sake, they almost flew me up to Maine to look at that school. But then they said, fuck it, you're driving. You're not even on a scholarship. Boy, did I get alcohol poisoning that week. In 2017, Breitbart News reported that Harvard would host a separate graduation ceremony for its black students for the first time. So congratulations, Harvard.
And I say segregation now, segregation tomorrow, and
very good.
Forever.
These are the progressives These are the progressives. We really wanted an opportunity to give voice to the voiceless at Harvard. Yes, because the black voices are never heard on college campuses anywhere in the country, or anywhere else for that matter. They're just so silenced today. I can't remember the last time I've heard an opinion from a black college student, other than that every time a conservative shows up to speak, them and 1,000 white liberal kids shouting them down. Yeah, we want to give a voice to the voiceless, Harvard organizers said. So many students identify with the African diaspora, but don't necessarily feel welcome as part of the larger community, and that they don't feel like their stories are being shared. Are you fucking kidding me?
No, they're ignorant. That's ignorant.
Your stories are being shared through hip-hop, through every book that elementary kids' schools have to read. This is for the last 20, 30 years now. It's shared in everything that comes on HBO. I mean, what is your story? Is it that? These are the people who've been, they've been praying for a colorblind society. That was their ultimate goal for the last 40 years. And what are they doing? Just the fucking opposite. So again, you're on the side of idiots like George Wallace. Congratulations, you've won. That same year, the University of Delaware hosted a separate graduation ceremony for the LGBTQ students. Proponents of these separate ceremonies argue that they allow guests to learn about the unique experiences of the featured group. Like what? Getting a blowjob behind the gym? What are you talking about? What unique? They get drunk and they have fucking sex and do the same shit straight. What are you? You're flying in on cables like Peter Pan to the orientation. What's so fucking different? What makes me so fucking different? Tell me, what makes me so fucking different? The way you dress, your funny shoes, your fucking assless chaps. Tell me what makes me so fucking gay. Oh my God. We couldn't be more splintered as a society. And again, folks, it's identity politics, which is driven by the left, and they're segregating where black and white students live in college. Just admit it didn't work. Just admit we had an idea. They keep saying America's an idea, and right now it's not working. Oh, my goodness. That's it. I am tapped, folks. I am tapped for the day, and what else would I want to say? That's about it, I guess. Don't forget to share A Breath of Fresh Air, please, all over Facebook and everywhere. What else, Jace? Am I forgetting anything?
I think that's about it.
That's about it. Please do that. And it's still climbing on YouTube and stuff. It's slowed down naturally, but you know, and it's 20-1 positive to negative comments. Okay, so wait till the next one comes out. It's gonna be tremendous. Thank you all at Patreon again for your support. Appreciate it, and we'll see you back here tomorrow. Take care of yourselves, everybody.